It's Wednesday of Passion Week, and we're working our way toward Easter Sunday, where we want to remember the resurrection of our Lord. It's really been an interesting study as we look at each of these passages. I would like to share with you from Mark chapter 14 and encourage you about what Jesus was thinking and doing during the week before he would go to the cross. So let me read to you Mark 14, 1 through 11. It says, "It was now 2 days before the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and the chief priests and the scribes were seeking how to arrest him by stealth and kill him. For they said, 'Not during the feast, lest there be an uproar from the people.' And while he was at Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, as he was reclining at table, a woman came with an alabaster flask of ointment of pure nard, very costly, and she broke the flask and poured it over his head. There were some who said to themselves indignantly, 'Why was the ointment wasted like that? For this ointment could have been sold for more than 300 denarii and given to the poor.' And they scolded her. But Jesus said, 'Leave her alone. Why do you trouble her? She has done a beautiful thing to me. For you always have the poor with you, and whenever you want, you can do good for them, but you will not always have me. She has done what she could. She has anointed my body beforehand for burial. And truly I say to you, wherever the gospel is proclaimed in the whole world, what she has done will be told in memory of her.' Then Judas Iscariot, who was one of the 12, went to the chief priests in order to betray him to them. And when they heard it, they were glad and promised to give him money. And he sought an opportunity to betray him." There's a lot of things in this passage that we can focus on. But what's in my mind today is Jesus and what he was about and where he was headed. If you remember, he earlier in the week set his face toward Jerusalem, the very place where he knew that he was going to be suffering. He was going to be scoffed and mocked and spit on and beaten and then hung on a tree. It's a terrible thing to look forward to. But for the glory of what was going to be revealed, he set his face to Jerusalem and went that way. He made no bones about what was going to happen to him. He predicted his death again and again. And even here in this passage about the ointment, he talks about Mary who anointed his body for burial. Again, he was telling people, "I'm going up to Jerusalem, and there I will die. I will pay for the sins of all those that I've chosen." So we can rest in the fact that none of this happened to Jesus by mistake. None of this was happenstance. No, it was the pre-planned work of God to redeem for himself a people for his own name. And at this point in time, as we work through this week, let's prepare our hearts and remember that Jesus did this intentionally. He went to Jerusalem where he knew he was going to suffer and die, and he knew he was going to rise again. And so we rejoice in that. We're going to celebrate that on Resurrection Sunday, on Easter. So be with us then, and I hope that you get some encouragement from this during this tough time as we fight off this coronavirus, this COVID-19. Take care of our neighbors, take care of our brothers and sisters in Christ as you have ability. And let's keep in touch with each other. Lord willing, we'll see you as we celebrate Easter together via our live stream. God bless you. Thanks.